a lot of our students know how important it is to come to school. We say it on our announcements. I know teachers have a lot of conversations with students about the importance of attendance and how it really impacts their success later in life. So it's something that all school year we've been constantly talking about.
It's important to go to school because you can learn new things, but if you don't go to school, then you're gonna miss out and you're gonna fall behind. I get excited when I go to school because I get to see all of my friends and my teachers.
We have some students on a check-in, check-out intervention where they have a mentor and they check in with them every morning, discuss goals, and then they check out in the afternoon with them and discuss what things they did well in the day, what things could they have done better. I think it really shows students that they belong here, they have things to look forward to.
And the kids are doing a wonderful job themselves encouraging each other and just making sure, hey, you know, I want to get the next certificate or the next pizza party or popcorn. I think that it has really improved their learning. They're more focused, they're engaged more, they're not falling behind.
Making connections with parents has really helped with our attendance. I think everybody does a good job of just communicating with parents. So from the counselors, we call families once students reach a certain number of absences. Our teachers are good about communicating with families to see why a child's out and really just kind of letting the parents know that we're all on the same team and we all want what's best for the child and we want the child to be successful. I think parents appreciate those phone calls because they know that we're looking out for their child and we're just trying to be transparent and also just helping them understand the impact that attendance has on their success.